Mom, you shall take your medicine. What? Are you sure? Of course, Mom. You look completely exhausted. So, you shall take your medicine. Wait. Here they are. Wait. Are you really sure? Yes, Mom. What do you mean, by the way? It should be should take the medicine, not shall. Oh, never mind. Thanks for this. Shall and should. Yan ang pag-aaralan natin sa video na ito. Ang mga salitang shall at should ay kabilang sa tinatawag na modal verbs sa English grammar o kilala rin sa tawag na helping verbs. Kaya sila helping verbs ay dahil ginagamit silang pantulong sa isa pang verb o salitang kilos. Makikita nating palagi ang mga salitang ito na may kasunod na salitang kilos na mas nabibigyang kahulugan dahil sa tulong ng shall and should, mas napapakita ang purpose kung ang nasabing kilos ay nagpapahiwatig ng obligasyon, pangangailangan o necessity, expectation o pakisuyo o request. Unahin natin ang shall. Narito ang mga formula para makagawa ng pangungusap gamit ang shall. Para sa positive sentences, we should have the subject plus the word shall plus our action verb or the main verb in base form. Example sentences, I shall help, we shall help, you shall help, he, she, or it shall help, or they shall help. Kapag naman negative sentences, ito ang formula na ating susundin. Simply, the negative form is created by adding the word not after the word shall. Yes, magdadagdag lang tayo ng salitang not pagkatapos ng modal verb na shall. So it will be subject plus the modal verb shall plus the word not plus the main verb or the action verb. Example, I shall not help, or the contraction is I shan't help. We shall not help, or we shan't help. You shall not help, or you shan't help. He or she or it shall not help. Or we can use the contraction form, which is shan't help, or they shall not help. Or the contraction form is they shan't help. But take note, the contraction form shan't is something we generally use in spoken English, but rarely in its written form. Tama ang narinig ninyo. Ang pinaikling shall not na shan't ay maririnig lamang natin kapag ginagamit sa pagsasalita at napakadalang nitong gamitin sa mga pagsusulat. Lalo pa kapag tayo ay sumusulat, mas mainam na buo ang mga salita na ating ginagamit. Paano naman kapag gagamitin ang shall sa pagtatanong? We make the question by inverting the subject and shall. Here is the question form for all the subjects, though we only normally use shall in questions with I and we. Yes, tama. Pagpapalitin lang natin ng pwesto ang subject at ang shall. So the formula is this: the modal verb shall plus the subject plus the main verb or the action verb, and of course, don't forget the question mark. The examples are these: shall I help? Shall we help? Shall you help? Shall he or she or it help? And shall they help? Take note, ang shall ay ginagamit sa lahat ng uri ng subject, singular man ito o plural. Ngayon naman ay alamin natin ang gamit ng shall. Shall is often used interchangeably with the word will, though much less commonly, to form the future tense. Alam niyo ba na mayroon itong 6 na gamit? Ang una, we use shall to make offers using I or we. Gagamitin natin ang shall kapag tayo ay mag-aalok, maaari, ng tulong sa ibang tao gamit ang subject pronouns na I and we, or ako o tayo. Narito ang mga halimbawa. Una, shall we help you with your belongings? Tutulungan ka ba namin sa mga gamit mo? Another example, shall I make some dinner? Magluluto ba ako ng hapunan? Last example, where shall I drop you off? Outside your room? Saan kita ihahatid? Sa labas ng kwarto mo? Pangalawang gamit, We use shall to express decisions about the future. O kapag gusto mong ipahayag yung desisyon mo o pangarap mo na matibay ang paniniwala mong magagawa mo sa hinaharap o magaganap. Mga halimbawang pangungusap. Una, I shall be a broadcast journalist someday. Magiging broadcast journalist ako balang araw. Alam niyo ba, yan talaga yung pangarap ko. Second sentence, we shall join the Glee Club next year. Sasali tayo sa Glee Club sa susunod na taon. Pangatlong halimbawa, I shall be a teacher very soon. Malapit na akong maging isang guro. Pangatlong gamit, we use the modal verb shall to make polite suggestions or requests using I or we. O kapag gusto mong magbigay ng magalang na suhestyon o pakisuyo, gamit ang I at we. Halimbawa, una, shall we discuss this over dinner? Pag-uusapan ba natin ito sa hapunan? Another example, shall we have something to eat? May kakainin ba tayo? Last example, what shall we do after we have watched the film? Ano ang gagawin natin pagkatapos nating mapanood ang pelikula? Pang-apat na gamit, we use the modal verb shall to express formal obligations. O ginagamit ito kapag magpapahayag tayo ng isang formal na obligasyon, karaniwan sa mga trabaho, sa mga aplikante, at iba pang formal na sitwasyong kauri nito. Mga halimbawa, una, applicants shall provide evidence of their qualifications. Ang mga aplikante ay dapat magbigay ng katibayan ng kanilang mga kwalifikasyon. Pangalawa, guests shall not bring home anything from the rooms. Ang mga bisita ay hindi dapat mag-uwi ng anuman mula sa mga silid. Last example, the accused shall appear in court again on the 24th of April. Ang akusado ay muling haharap sa korte sa ika-24 ng Abril. Ngayon, nasa panglimang gamit na tayo. We use the modal verb shall to make promises or to make a promise. O ginagamit din ito kapag nais nating magpahayag ng pangako. Mga halimbawa, I shall not be late, or the contraction form for shall not is shan't. Take note that this is something we generally use in spoken English but rarely in its written form. Ibig sabihin, karaniwan itong maririnig na ginagamit kapag nagsasalita pero madalang lamang kapag sumusulat. In Filipino, it will be, hindi ako malilate o nangangako kang hindi ka na mahuhuli. Second example, I shall never forget everything you did for me. Hindi ko makakalimutan lahat ng ginawa mo para sa akin. Nagpapahayag ng pangako niyang hindi niya lilimutin lahat ng nagawa sa kanya. Pwedeng tumutukoy sa mga mabubuting bagay na naitulong sa kanya. And the last example for that is, your parcel shall arrive on Monday. Ayan ha, relate na relate kayo dyan. Sino nag-aabang ng mga in-orders nila online? Darating ang iyong parcel sa Lunes. Ito ay nagpapakita ng pangangakong magaganap ang nasabing bagay sa Lunes. Ngayon, magtungo tayo sa huling gamit o pang-anim na gamit ng modal verb na shall. We use shall to describe the future very formally or for laws and directives. O kapag gusto nating ilarawan ng isang bagay na magaganap sa hinaharap sa isang formal na paraan o kapag tutukoy sa mga batas at direktiba. Narito ang mga halimbawa. Una, Mr. Lim shall begin his talk at 3:30 p.m. Si Ginoong Lim ay magsisimula ng kaniyang talumpati sa ganap na 3:30 ng hapon. Second example, access to the main road shall be limited today due to the marathon. Ang pagdaan sa pangunahing kalsada ay limitado ngayon dahil sa marathon. Last example, the tests shall be carried out by an independent body. Or in Filipino, ang mga pagsusuri o pagsusulit ay dapat isagawa ng isang independenteng katawan. Nawa ay naging malinaw sa inyo ang iba't ibang gamit ng modal verb na shall. Kung marami na kayong natutuhan, huwag kalimutang i-like ang video na ito at kung hindi pa kayo nakakapag-subscribe, pindutin ang subscribe button sa ibaba at i-hit ang notification bell para lagi kayong updated sa mga ganito nating video. ipagpatuloy na natin ang pag-aaral. Ngayon naman ay magtungo tayo sa modal verb na should. Narito ang mga formula para makagawa ng pangungusap gamit ang should. For positive sentences, we should have first the subject, followed by the modal verb should, followed by the main verb or the action verb. Example sentences, I should help. We should help. You should help. He or she or it should help. And they should help. Paano naman kapag negative sentences? Ito ang formula na ating susundin. Just the same with the modal verb shall, what we have to do is just add the word not to create a negative sentence after the word should. So this is the formula. The subject first, followed by the modal verb should, plus the word not, plus the main verb or the action verb. Example sentences. I should not help. Or we can say, I shouldn't help kapag gusto natin gamitan yung contraction form ng should not, which is shouldn't. Another one, we should not help or we shouldn't help. You should not help or you shouldn't help. He or she or it should not help or shouldn't help pa rin. And lastly, they should not help or they shouldn't help. Well, ang tanong, paano naman kapag gagamitin ng should sa pagtatanong? Paano kaya, ano? Just like in the modal verb shall, we make the question by inverting the subject and the modal verb should. Here's the question form for all the subjects. Pagpapalitin lang natin ang pwesto, ang subject at ang should. The formula is should plus the subject plus the main verb or the action verb. And don't forget the question mark. So it will be like this. Should I help? Should we help? Should you help? Should he or she or it help? Should they help? Take note, kahaling tulad ng shall, ang modal verb na should ay ginagamit din natin sa lahat ng uri ng subject, singular man o isa, o plural o marami. Ngayon naman ay alamin natin ang iba't ibang gamit ng modal verb na should. Should is the past tense of shall, but it is also used to express other purposes. Ang should, ito po basically ang past tense ng modal verb na shall, pero may iba pa siyang gamit. Yes, mayroon tayong tatlong gamit. Ang una, we use the modal verb should to make a suggestion or advice. O kapag tayo ay magbibigay ng suhestyon o payo, maaaring sa sarili natin, sa ibang tao, o sa mga bagay. Kaya sa naging senaryo natin sa umpisa, mapapansin nating mali na sabihin, you shall take your medicine. Ang tama ay, you should take your medicine. Dahil gustong magbigay ng payo o advice na marapat ng inumin ang gamot, narito ang iba pang mga halimbawa. Una, John should get a haircut. O, dapat magpagupit si John. Second example, people should worry more about global warming. Or, mas dapat mag-alala ang mga tao tungkol sa global warming. At panghuling halimbawa, you should try to lose weight. Dapat mong subukang mawalan o mamawasan ng timbang. Pangalawang gamit ng modal verb na should, we use should to convey the idea of obligation, duty, or correctness. O ginagamit din ng should kapag tayo ay magpapahayag ng obligasyon, tungkulin o kawastuhan. Narito ang mga halimbawa. Unang halimbawa, you should be wearing your seatbelt and it expresses an obligation. Dapat naka-seatbelt ka. Ito ay nagpapahayag ng obligasyon o nag-oobliga sa kausap na magsuot siya ng seatbelt o sinturong pangkaligtasan. Second example, I should be at work now. Dapat nasa trabaho ako ngayon. Sa pangungusap namang ito ay makikita natin ang tungkulin ng nagsasalita na kasalukuyan siyang dapat na nasa trabaho. And the last example, you should not or you shouldn't have said that to her. Hindi mo dapat sinabi yun sa kanya. Mapapansin natin sa pangatlong halimbawa na ito ang negative form ng should na shouldn't at may kasunod na have. Should have means that something did not happen, but we wish it had happened. We use should have to talk about past mistakes o nangangahulugang ang isang bagay ay hindi nangyari, ngunit ninais mo itong mangyari sa nakaraan. Ginagamit din ito para pag-usapan ng mga nakaraang pagkakamali. Kaya sinasabing should is also used to express correctness. Ngayon, nasa pangatlo at panghuling gamit na tayo ng modal verb na should. We use the modal verb should to indicate that we think something is probable or we expect it to happen or simply about expectation. O ginagamit natin ng should kapag gusto nating ipahiwatig na sa tingin natin ay may posibilidad o inaasahan natin na mangyayari ang isang bagay. Narito ang mga halimbawang pangungusap. Una, let's say, aalis na yung kapatid mo para pumasok sa trabaho at sasabihin mong, okay, you're leaving now. You should arrive there in an hour. Aalis ka na. Dapat ay makarating ka na doon sa isang oras. Second example, are you ready? The train should be here soon. Handa ka na ba? Malapit nang dumating ang tren. At panghuling halimbawa, Christine should be in Manila by next week. Her new job starts on Monday. Dapat ay nasa Maynila na si Christine sa susunod na linggo. Magsisimula na ang kanyang bagong trabaho sa Lunes. Let's have a quick summary of the modal verbs shall and should. We use the modal verb shall for the following situations. First, we use shall to make offers using I and we. Second, we use shall to express decisions about the future. Third, we use shall to make polite suggestions or requests using I or we. Fourth, we use shall to express formal obligations. 5, we use shall to make a promise. And the last usage is we use shall to describe the future very formally or for laws and directives. This time, let's take a look at the quick summary of the different uses of the modal verb should. First one, we use should to make a suggestion or advice. Second, we use should to convey the idea of obligation, duty, or correctness. Last and third, we use should to indicate that we think something is probable or we expect it to happen or simply about expectation. This time, alamin natin kung naunawaan mo bang mabuti ang ating pinag-aralan. It's quiz time! Complete each sentence using the correct modal verb. Is it shall or should? Number 1. People with high cholesterol eat low-fat foods. The correct answer is should. People with high cholesterol should eat low-fat foods. You are giving advice or recommendation in this item. Number 2. All official meetings be held in the town hall. The correct answer is shall. All official meetings shall be held in the town hall. The correct answer is shall because you are implying a directive. Okay? Number 3. Susan blank be in Bohol by now. The correct answer is should. Susan should be in Bohol by now. In this item, you are expressing an expectation. Number 4. Mr. Fabian begin his talk at 2:30 p.m. The correct answer is shall. Mr. Fabian shall begin his talk at 2:30 p.m. You are describing the future very formally in this scenario. And last, number 5. I water your plants while you're away. The correct answer is shall. Shall I water your plants while you are away? In this item, you make an offer using the pronoun I. What are your scores and answers? Share them in the comments. That's our lesson for today. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. At huwag mo rin kalimutang i-click ang notification bell para lagi kang updated every time I have newly uploaded videos. Maaari nyo ring i-share sa comment section sa ibaba ang mga topics na gusto nyo pang matutuhan at gagawan ko yan ng video para sa inyo. So, my next video! Bye! Mas palawakin pa natin ang kaalaman mo pagdating sa modal verbs. Kung nalilito ka pa hanggang ngayon sa tamang gamit ng will at would, panoorin mo ang susunod na video na ito.